What's good, y'all? It's your boy Duce Noir, man. Here with my boy Tony, man. What's good with you today, man?
What's happening, man? Glad to be here.
Come on, man. Word. So shit, talk to the people, man. Tell them what you do.
What's up, man? Everybody, I'm Tony. I'm a serial entrepreneur, Well, I wouldn't say all that, but I do Airbnb, and I know what I'm talking about. I've been doing Airbnb for like 3 years now, so I know a lot about the game. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, man. I know we in Atlanta, and it's a city that has a lot of real estate. It's a lot going on. Real estate has been blowing up here. It's been blowing up for probably past 25 years.
Yeah.
So within that regard, I could only see it be nothing but right that Airbnb be something that blows up also. Because if you think about it, it's so flexible. A lot of people use it. A lot of digital nomads use it. People that go on trips. Sneaky links, whatever the case may be. I ain't in y'all business, but what I do know is that Airbnb is something that's very profitable and it's very lucrative for people that deal with it. So, how long you been working with the Airbnb? You say 3 years?
Yeah, I've been doing Airbnb like 3 years now. Yeah.
Okay, so tell us how you get started. Did you have some help? Was it like self-taught, or did you just go into it, jump straight in?
So my thing has always been is I just want to get some money. You know what I'm saying?
Money.
I want to get some money.
Hey,
money. I did all type of hustles to get money. You know what I'm saying? Before Airbnb, because I just want some money, like I said. So I had came into some money, and I just knew that Airbnb was very lucrative. Because I had a friend who was doing it, and he been doing it for a couple of years, and he haven't really had no hiccups for real. So I said, let me dabble in, let me get into the game and see what it's like. And that's what I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with that being said, like you would say that, was it an easy transition, or like did some of the things that you were doing before help build you up to the point where you were ready to jump in something so serious? Because a lot of people don't know is, it's kind of a commitment you have to put into it, especially if you actually, have different locations. You have to be able to, move around and finesse. And it's all about really hospitality. Most of this, like, you're basically a hotel now at that point. So, was it easy for you, or was it like difficult starting out?
So for me, it was easy. But for other people, it might be difficult. And I say this, it might be difficult because the biggest thing is that it's a risk. Yeah. And a lot of people don't like to take risks in their life because they're used to being comfortable. They might have the idea that they want to do something and get themselves out there, or try Airbnb or do Turo or do other things, but they just don't want to take that risk. Because, especially with Airbnb, somebody might not book your place, somebody might trash your place, you still got to pay the rent, you might got another place that you got to pay rent for. There's other things, other factors that go into this. So the biggest thing was a risk. Like I said, I've been taking risks my whole life. So for me, it was nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And, just in regards to that, life is all about risk. Pretty much you take a risk even going outside every day to go to work, or, just going to sleep in places you've never been. You just never know what can happen to you nowadays. So, especially in regards to just creativity. And as you can see, as with creativity, also relates back to like entrepreneurship in other ways, whereas you have to put yourself out there and make sure, you're ready to stand on what you're doing. Because if you don't, you're not going to prosper in whatever it is you do. Mm-hmm. So I know, like, do you have any other people, just one person or was it like a group of people like a community of people that do it, or more so just like solo dolo type of thing?
So I know one person who do it, and he has another friend who does it as well. So the one friend I know who do it, he has 4 Airbnbs. Mm-hmm. But his friend, I think he got like 2. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, so you would say that having a community of people, or even because one person could be a community, because that he knows somebody, then because you know him, you know the other person too, right, so to speak. So would you say that having a community of people that's doing the same thing you're doing helps?
Yes. And I say it helps is because they can put you on game and tell you stuff about things that you wouldn't know unless you do Airbnb, and the buildings that they're doing Airbnb out of, let's say they're doing Airbnb out of an apartment, you can go to their building and do the same exact thing because it's gonna work because they already there. Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, even with me, for things that I've done, I would say, like, even the first time I got here to the city, I wasn't as well versed with my camera, and it was really just one set. I was one setting on my camera away, one button away from my work going from here to there. So I know what it means to have somebody doing the same thing you're doing. It really helps. It all helps when you got somebody that can teach you the way, or show you the pitfall so you won't make the same mistakes. So that's really important.
Yeah.
So what's tell the people about one of the most memorable times you had with a guest. Like, have you ever had any pressure, any pushback, or like it was everything just always sweet and candy, like easy money?
With any business that you would ever start, no matter what it is, it will never just be sweet and candy. It will always have its ups and downs. Always. Don't ever think you're gonna go into business and think it's gonna just be a straight line. It will never be a straight line. Ever. It's gonna always be something that's gonna pop up. I have had multiple hiccups. The worst thing I can say at Airbnb, don't never really like do it with your friends. And I say with your friends as in like don't rent it out to them. I mean you can, but me personally, I don't, not in my business, because with your friends, they'll think they can do what they want to do in your place just because they're your friends, but in their mind, they're not thinking it's still a business. And to you, it's still a business. So they'll come have 100 girls over here, trash the place, but they feel like, oh, we cool, so we can do it like that, but it's just not the case. So I had situations like that. You can tell people exactly, you can literally tell people the exact directions and they'll still get lost, still do stupid stuff. You can tell them exactly what to do and they still won't listen. So a lot of issues with that as well.
So basically what you're saying is don't let nobody play in your face when it comes to your property.
Right. Because it's a business at the end of the day. It's a property, but it's a business. And this is your business.
And that's one of the most important things I tell people, like, even if people know you, they still gonna try to treat you the same way as if like
or worse.
They're not gonna go downtown and play with the Hilton. They're not playing with Hilton downtown.
Yeah.
So like you can't let nobody play with you or your craft. So that's why like you gotta make people respect what you're doing. But the only way they're gonna respect is if they see you consistently doing it. And if not, they'll just treat it as if like they just still know you off for the beef or whatever they know you as. So I know like in regards to that, they probably be like, "Oh yeah, bro, it's cool, no, but then like they wouldn't go play with somebody else, something like that."
Right.
So how do you deal with that when you come into a situation like that? How do you deal with that?
I mean, if they your friends and it's a genuine relationship, I mean, it is what it is. You just don't let them come back to your place again. You learn your lesson, you move on. I won't even tell them, honestly, like if it's like not an issue like that, I won't even tell them. I just know I just can't do business with them again, so I just won't, it's no hard feelings. It just, you have to draw a line between business and friendship because them two different things, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And in business, you can't let your emotions like take over. It's really business.
Yeah. And that's the thing I know for sure, because in regards to having a business or just doing anything creatively, professional-wise, business-wise, or anything else, you got to be able to draw that line because you're going to have a passion about it because it's something that, is yours, something that you know what I'm saying, is here. It's here. It's in your chest. It's in your heart. It's in your mind. You think about it. You can't sleep. You can't sleep thinking about your business, about what you got going on. But it's like you can't let that passion mess up business. When it's time to make business deals, you got to be stern. You got to be logical. The numbers got to make sense.
Right.
The profit margin got to make sense. You know what I'm saying? It's because there's so many different moving parts in regards to making anything like that work. So I definitely understand that because like I've put projects together. Even though they may not be large scale, but just anything from just coordinating time, coordinating people, coordinating outfits, coordinating colors, color palettes, different, what camera to bring, what shots we're gonna shoot, setting up the playbook of how we're gonna do it in order. Because if you do it out of order, it's gonna be hell on wheels trying to edit it in the end. So it's like you try to just make everything as seamless as possible. So that I get it. It's like it's not. I haven't done Airbnb, but I can kind of feel some of the same pain points in regards to getting stuff done, or even like just getting people to coordinate. Because you telling people you don't know these people. So like you're not hitting them up beforehand and be like, hey, you remember that time you came before I need you to come? They don't know nothing about that. So just, in regards to having your structure set to where people can follow precise instructions to support it. So I definitely respect that. So when it comes to more so the hospitable standpoint of, actually renting out your place, what are some things that you would suggest for people that want to possibly get into in regards to like decor or like how you make it presentable for different people that visit?
Okay, it's a few ways. You can go all out. You can decorate it all crazy, or you can just have see me, I kind of stick to like a simple format. I have four sets of towels, 4 sets of wash rags, 2 comforter sets, because you don't want to do too much because it can get confusing and stuff can get lost, stuff can get stolen. Get all these people coming in here, it can be a lot of confusion. So I would say keep it as simple as possible, when it comes to like decorations. And you can decorate it, make it look nice, but make sure everything is simple and it works in your way. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to go too crazy because at the end it can get confused.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and me knowing that this is a very competitive market, how do you go about your pricing? Like, how do you go off of comps, or do you just have like a set number you want to reach every month, or like, is it like a guide you go by? How do you go about that?
So it's really up to you, but the smart thing to do is to go on Airbnb.com or Verbo and look at the other people's prices in your area and see what they charging. And then you can kind of base it off how you will charge. But if you want to do a set number, so a lot of people think is, right, they on Airbnb and they want to charge a higher number. So let's say they got a place and they were like, oh, okay, I want to charge $200 a night,
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong, it can get booked, but it'll take longer. It'll take longer from my experience. It'll take longer. So I'm the type of guy, I'm like, I'm kind of got a fast food type of mindset, but a quality fast food, like Chick-fil-A type of mindset.
Like Five Guys.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying? I'm going to get it at a good number. Like, come and get it. You know what I'm saying? I got it available. Come and get it. I got it at a good price. Like, instead of me charging $200, I'm charging $125. Come get it. Come get it so I can get you in and get you gone. That's how I look at it. Because with business, don't get me wrong, the number matters, but the more people, the more your profit. You know what I'm saying? So let's say you got 125, 25 days out of the week. You know what I'm saying? So that's, instead of 200, 10 times out. 100, let's say I got $125 out of 25 days out of the month.
Yeah.
But instead of me charging 200 and I only get booked 10 days out of the month. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a better number.
So, and people will think, oh, it's just like what, $75 difference?
Right.
That $75 matter, don't it?
Wait, what? It do.
So was that more so trial and error when you saw it when you first initially started, you went big, or you just automatically knew I'm gonna just hit them, I'm gonna go lower than the competition?
So I always, like I said, I had tried business ventures before this. So I already knew, like, if you give something that's good quality at a lower price than others, people gonna automatically jump on it. Like, if you see a deal, let's say somebody charging have a TV, and that TV in the store is $700, but I got it going for $500, and it's the same exact TV, brand new, just like in the store. You gonna shop with me, even though I might got the TV for $150, but you gonna come shop with me because it's lower from me than in the store. So hit them with a low number that is decent, that you still gonna make your money, and you can get more people in it. That's how I look at the business.
Okay, so with all of that and all the moving parts and all the things that you have to construct, put together, and make sure it's like no nonsense, how do you go about the customer aspect of the reviews? Like, how let people know how important are the reviews on Airbnb?
So reviews are honestly number one. That's really it's number one. Reviews are number one because somebody can write a bad review and plummet you and won't have nobody come. So the best thing is to keep your place clean. And that's number two, is keeping your place clean. You basically, it's like getting people to come to your place, honestly, that's the easiest part. Because Airbnb, Verbo, Booking.com, they'll do it for you, especially when you start getting traction. Like, you'll get booked. But the thing is, you keep it clean. You're going to basically be a maid. Like, call you Maria, because you're going to be a maid. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be cleaning up every day, just like a hotel, basically, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, so, have you ever gotten a negative review before?
I have. When you have customers or clients who come live in your place, it's different ones. So you got some people who come, they're just cool. They just want to be here. They're glad to be away from home on vacation. They might not even be here half the time. Then you got others who come in here. They looking for dust on the ceiling fan. They looking under your bed. They looking in drawers to make sure they looking at your bathtub. Like, they writing notes to make sure everything clean to up-to-date standards.
No.
It's some people like they health inspectors or something. It's some people like that, for real, and gonna write it in their review. And be petty too. Oh, it was a stain on the wall. What they got to do with your trip? Nothing, but it's some people like that.
Did you die? Like, okay.
Right. It's some people like that.
Because, like, I've dealt with clients before in regards to different things I've done, and the biggest thing I've realized is that there's definitely a spectrum. Like you said, you got some that's chill, you got some that's on 10. So you gotta do your best to just treat every person you come in contact with for whatever craft you're doing, whatever product you're doing. Make sure that your service is on 10. Make sure your product is on 10, because if not, only take one person to say something bad, and everybody gonna run with it.
And they will say something bad. Yeah, they will.
So, in regards to that, what did you do to how did you mitigate that? How did you fix the problem?
I'm gonna be honest. I tried to call Verbo or Airbnb and be like, "Hey, man, they telling a lie. Can you get this off?" But that's just me. But the best thing is, just keep moving forward. It's two options. You can delete that whole account and just start you a new one and start fresh. You could.
Do you lose traction like that?
You do, but you can pick it back up though. You know what I'm saying? You can pick it back up. So you can delete that whole account and just start another account, or you can just say, okay, I learned from this mistake and I'm just gonna do better next time. I'm not gonna let this affect me and I'm just gonna go harder. So let's say I had a bad review. Let's say I had it at 150, right? And somebody wrote a bad review, I'm going down. I'm going down to 125 or 115 just to get it back up. Get some good reviews and then bring the price back up.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
And see, being that you have that wherewithal, or even more so that self knowledge to be like, hey, there's a problem, I fix it. Because I know sometimes we all can't be at our best, so it's best to, if you know there's something wrong with something that you're selling, fix it. Because like I said, people spending their money with you.
Right.
It's not like they doing you a favor.
Right.
So you gotta always just remember that you can't be an asshole when it comes to getting mad when you fucked up.
Right.
If you know your shit wasn't correct how it's supposed to be, or how it was presented or set in that description, fix it.
Yeah. Wrong. You can't have that mindset like, oh, that just was them. I know my place was right. You can't have that mindset because you won't lose in the end. At the end of the day, the customers are your business. That's your business. So it's basically like you got to do everything to please them. If they want a coffee machine, if somebody complains and say, oh, it was a nice place, but it didn't have a coffee machine, I'm going to go buy a coffee machine. I'm going to do everything to make it in a customer satisfaction, because at the end of the day, that's how I'm making my money, is through them.
And see, that's another thing that you hitting on some good gems, man, because he's talking about Airbnb, but you got to understand this can apply to anything you do. Like if you got something that you're doing, check the comments, check to see what the people are actually talking about. Because if they already serviced you before and you make improvements, you don't think they're going to be a return customer?
Right.
Ain't nothing like more money again from the same person that's already familiar with their product.
And it's just so much back stuff with Airbnb. So let's say I did do well and somebody did like that they stayed here.
Yeah.
They might be like, okay, I want to pay you, but not through Airbnb. So they be like, okay, I want to be here another week and just give me the money right then.
Yeah.
Or they can be like, oh, I got a cousin coming in town next week and they would like to stay here, and they can refer me to their cousins. It's just all type of other lucrative ways with it too. Because at the end of the day, it's still people. And people are avenues for other things as well. So
okay. So in regards to marketing and making sure people even know about your stuff outside of outside of the actual posting sites, is there anything that you do extra in regards to letting people know about what your service?
You can put it on Instagram, you can put it on Facebook on your story, you can always word of mouth. I had a lot of people. I haven't even posted a place before, and just by word of mouth, I had somebody stay for 8 days and I made $1,400 in 8 days. So just off of word of mouth, I didn't even post it or nothing. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really impressive, man. So, in regards to the logistics of the check-in and check-out, being that a lot of times the host is usually not even there. So how do you go about, give some tips for the people about what that looks like in regards to people getting in and out of the residence? Okay.
So I also have a career outside of Airbnb that I travel. So when I travel, I be gone 3 months to 6 months at a time and might come back once or twice a month. So I basically run an automated Airbnb system. So what I do is I have let's say you get you a maid. And they basically your manager, honestly. But with the maid, they just come in and clean, make sure, they restock on everything, make sure you're running good on your toilet paper, paper towels, and your basic necessities. And there's something wrong, like if it's something broke, they'll let me know. So I basically do all the talking through Airbnb, and they'll come to me and You know what I'm saying? Let me know if anything wrong. They'll come clean. And when it comes to like checking in, you can have a lockbox, or you can meet them with the key, or you can have. Honestly, I live in a very secure condo, so if I did Airbnb this, I could have it just leave the door unlocked. Honestly, because they're gonna come in anyway, and I just hide the key, and I'll be like, okay, the key over here. When you're done, just leave it on the counter or whatever, and I'll come and get it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's smart. Okay. So I know a lot of people. I know me personally, like, I thought about it, trying it out one time, but it's like I don't really like, I just don't put people in my stuff.
Right.
So like, was that something that you had to get over initially coming in, or was you don't care? Like, because I know some people that have multiple places or whatever case may be. Some people actually rent out the actual places. Some people actually rent out partial places. So how did was that something that you like? What helped you put you at ease with that at first? Or was it something you just like, oh, I'm going to get this money, it don't matter?
A lot of people do say that. They be like, how you like let people sleep in the bed? You don't know where they coming from or whatever. But to me, I don't care. Like, at the end of the day, I look at everything as just a business. I know it's not going to be nobody homeless coming in with bed bugs. But you don't get me wrong, people can bring bed bugs to your place. They could bring anything, roaches, anything to your place. But that's why they got exterminators. But me, I like passive income, and Airbnb is a passive way to make income. You can literally make a couple thousand, couple hundred in your sleep. I'm not gonna let no bugs mess me up for making 1,000 in my sleep. I will get this exterminated how many times I need to. You know what I'm saying? If I can make that money. So it is what it is. To me, that's not a problem. I feel like that could also be kind of be an excuse for some people because they scared to take the risk. Yeah. For them saying, oh, I don't want these people in my house. That's an excuse. So they won't, won't take that risk. So that's not an excuse for me. I'm about the money for real.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So, you say you've been doing about 3 years. We live in a world now where everything changes overnight. So how has the platform, or more so like the logistics or the ease of use changed from the beginning to up until now?
So with Airbnb, man, it's so many rules now. It's a lot of rules, and it's different ways you can do Airbnb. So the best way to do Airbnb, in my personal experience, is to buy. If you can buy a place, because you really don't have rules like an apartment, you can buy a place like a house though. And if you can buy a house, an Airbnb, that's the easier way. Or you can buy like a condo, but you got to look at their rules. And a lot of condos, they don't allow Airbnb because of the HOA. So that's kind of a stigma. What a lot of people do in Atlanta, they'll do something called rental arbitrage. And with rental arbitrage is when you go to an apartment and you Airbnb it. But a lot of people don't know that it's an Airbnb friendly list. It's an Airbnb friendly list that you can literally type in Airbnb friendly in Atlanta or wherever city you in, and it'll show you what apartments are Airbnb friendly. And you can check those out. You can do it that way. You know what I'm saying? So there's different ways you can go about it.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, we're going to take a little break, man. We'll be right back, man. We're going to get back with my boy Tony, and we're going to give y'all some more game. And we're back, man. We're back from break. I got my boy Tony, man, giving y'all this crazy game of Airbnb. Just a couple of things that, you probably may or may not have known about the business. A good, quick behind the scenes of, some do's and don'ts or whatever the case may be. So, I know there's a lot that comes along with the game. But, I see that you've been doing it for a while. So that's very impressive, man, because, it's hard to even stay consistent in basic stuff nowadays. So to see you actually going, 3 going on 4 years now, that's really impressive. I just want to commend you and let you know that just keep going. Because, ain't nothing like free money. You know what I'm saying? Everybody like a little, because you was going to pay your rent anyway.
Right.
So it's like, ain't no need to, might as well go ahead and just keep that going. So, and I know like you just like anybody else, you got a personal life, you got things that you need to do, got things that need to get done. So how do you go about balancing having a business, or just more so not even necessarily Airbnb, but even whatever other businesses or whatever things you have going on? How do you balance that and your personal life?
You just make time, this is a well-known saying, you make time for what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Who you want to talk to. You make time. There's no excuses. I know I wanted to have a business. I knew I wanted to have a career. I knew I wanted to have a girlfriend. I knew I wanted to have the life I want to live. So I make time for the things I want to do. And Airbnb basically can rent itself, honestly. So that's just money coming in. You know, don't get me wrong. You'll look around, look over, make sure everything good. But once you get it going for real, you can have it rent itself, honestly. Yeah.
Okay. So being that you've been in it 3 years now, what do you see the landscape of Airbnb moving to, or just more so the hospitality, the entrepreneur hospitality service moving to in the near future? Let's say 3 to 5 years. Like, what do you see the new wave of hosting being?
Honestly, since these years have passed, they've been trying to make it a little harder on Airbnb people because now they want you to get permits in certain cities. Certain cities are more like flexible. Certain cities they want permits. You only can have one or two. You know, it kind of get harder with time because technically Airbnb is not legal technically in some places. So you got to watch out for that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like, is that most major cities, or you see that more so in rural areas where they have?
So major cities like Atlanta, they got a lot of restrictions. It's allowed, but it's a lot of restrictions. I think the restriction is like you got to own a place. You can have 2 Airbnbs, but one of them you got to stay in, and the other one you can just strictly Airbnb. Then you might go to Tennessee or other places. You can just straight Airbnb how many you want. You know, so it just depends on the place in the city.
Yeah. Okay. So is there like a bulletin you use to stay ahead of everything? Because I know the worst thing that you would want to do is find out about a rule last minute and get blindsided by it. So how do you stay ahead of what needs to be done? Is it like a manual, or like this is your email?
You do your own research. You know, you can just go on YouTube, look at the new laws or wherever you're trying to go, or look at the laws they already have in place, things of that nature. You know, you can do your own research and you will find what you're looking for. You know, yeah.
Okay. Are there any? Is there any advice you would have for people that's like not ever use Airbnb or like more so apprehensive about it? Are there like any safety measures or any tips you would have for anybody like traveling abroad or something that use Airbnb because you actually are a host? You have any tips or anything?
Oh yeah. So a lot of places they can have like hidden cameras. You know, so you can. It's certain steps you can do to find hidden cameras in places. Some places might look really nice on the inside, but when you get there, you in the hood. You know, it's a lot of complications that way too. You know what I'm saying? And if you feel uncomfortable, leave. Don't stay nowhere that you feel uncomfortable. Because I know I will leave. I'll leave.
So they can get their money back if they were to leave.
Yeah. I done had people leave my place before. You know, they didn't feel like it was up to their standards to leave. Yeah, they're supposed to stay for 3 days, leave in 1 day, leave the next day.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, it's just the type of thing. It's still kind of a new thing. People have been going to room because you can be not safe in the hotel.
Yeah.
Like it get weird. It can get weird anywhere, but I guess just so having that safety mindset of this, we're so used to certain things that it's going to be like, all right, well, yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. So I can see that being a thing. But it's like, if I already paid this money, I'm in here.
Right. You get a refund, but not instantly.
Because 9 times out of 10, if I already plan to go somewhere, go to another city, go to another place, I already looked at the rooms. Right. And if the rooms, and 9 times out of 10, well, usually, okay, so yeah, because Airbnb is usually cheaper than the rooms, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, depending.
It just depends.
What kind of room you get.
And what is it an event going on? Because you can base your price off of event. Yeah. Like let's say your city got an All-Star game, Super Bowl, anything big like that, a World Cup, man, you can go crazy. You can go from charging $100 a night to $350, $400 a night. And somebody will buy it. Especially like 4th of July, Christmas, Thanksgiving. You can go up on your prices because people coming in town.
I remember when they had what it was Super Bowl, and we had the Super Bowl. Man, I'm talking about it was a dude trying to rent my stuff. Like, you try to rent my room probably like $300.
Yeah,
and I was like, I pumped out. I ain't gonna lie.
You should have did. You should have did it. Man, let All-Star Weekend coming back. I'm charging $600.
Well, the World Cup coming.
Come get it. $600. Come get it.
Matter of fact, I want to say 2025, if I'm not mistaken, the World Cup for the soccer World Cup. People. So you gonna hear how much? So okay, so some because you don't understand the World Cup is not a like a national. It's an international event.
Right.
How much upcharge would you probably be hitting
Man,
folks for?
you can go from 200 to 450 a night, easy, and they gonna pay like it's nothing because they gonna. And then the World Cup is a week long tournament type of thing. So man, 450, 500 a night, and they gonna pay it because these people coming from all, like you said, Mexico, Africa, France, London, Canada, other places to see their team play soccer. People are diehard soccer fans or football fans, so. Man, come get it. You go with the market, honestly.
I need it.
I need all that. I need all that.
Okay, so what's one of the most rewarding things that you gained? You say you like lessons you learned from and being in this venue of business so far.
I mean, it teach you a whole lot of avenues. So with Airbnb, it's two ways you can go. You can do long-term leasing or you can do short-term leasing. See, me, I prefer short-term leasing because you can get them in for 2-3 days a week and get them out there. But when you do long-term leases, which is like 2 weeks and above, a lot of people forget that it's an Airbnb and they start treating it like it's their place. So you got somebody in here for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Next thing you know, they start decorating or they making it super trashy and then they just let it all go because they forget this is an Airbnb and it's not their place. So I prefer short term and some people like long term, but me as a whole, I like short term because it's quicker money. It can be more at one time. But don't get me wrong, let's say I did long term. Instead of me charging $150 a night, I have to do and they want to stay a month. I probably can make like a $500, $700 profit where I can make a $500 profit in a week if I do a short term. So it's a better deal for me.
Okay.
But everybody got their own little niches.
So let's say right now somebody wanted to get into Airbnb, and they just come in they just got like a little space, whatever they got, whatever situation they got. What's top 3 pieces of advice you would give them right now?
To do it. I mean, just first off, know where you're going. Is there any rules where you live? Is there any, if it ain't no rules, no certain rules, or even if it is some rules and you feel like you can get past them rules, we do it. Go ahead and post it on Airbnb right now. We'll clean out everything. Make sure you don't have no clothes. Don't make sure it don't smell like no dog in there. Get everything out of there first. Make it look like a real Airbnb. Nothing in there is yours. Will it look like it's yours? So clear that space out and go ahead and post it. I mean, just see what they do. The biggest thing is just to take that risk and just post it. What you waiting on? Just go ahead and do it.
And I really feel that because I mean, just like for anything else, man. Even when it comes to making this channel, I just had to just do it. Just do it. Like even if you think you ain't ready, you think you ain't got the right camera, if you ain't got the right brush, you don't know how to do certain things, just go because I mean half the time people just want to see a process. Yeah, people love to see people try to do things because a lot of times there are people that have things that they want to do that don't even get a chance to try. Some people that physically enabled or just can't try or just can't get out of their own head because I mean even for myself, even for like as much as I've done, people tell me I've done so much. But I feel like I still got so much farther to go in my, in my journey.
And a lot of people they'll worry about the wrong thing first. They'll worry about the business name, getting the LLC. People don't even know. You don't even have to file your taxes unless you make like $10,000. Like the biggest thing in business is to make money. That's the number one thing. That name can come later. Think of a name as you go. That name ain't gonna get you paid. Get the money first, and then everything is second. Because in business, you want to make money. Who cares what color your logo is, or what the name is, or things of that nature? Make the money. Go ahead and put it out there to see what it do first. Get your money, and then you come up with that later. You know what I'm saying? Because we need money right now. We don't need it. You know what I'm saying? Yesterday, I need it now. You know what I'm saying?
So, you know what I'm saying? You gave these folks a lot of good game, man. I know it's probably wasn't even expecting to hear from somebody to do Airbnb, but I just, once again, I'm gonna reiterate, I made this channel to more so get people from different avenues that do different things to show people that we all kind of got the same issues, the same problems. It's just all, it's just put in a different box. Somebody might paint, he do Airbnb. I know somebody that do engineering. I know a lot of different type of people that do a lot of different things, but we all have some of the same commonalities in regards to getting stuff done. So, so once again, it's just like the positive message of just don't stop. Like, it's important that you believe in yourself because you got to believe in yourself first before anybody else do.
Right.
So, like I said, you only knew one person doing it. Most people be like, oh, if I don't know nobody, sometimes you don't need that. Just go.
I ain't need to know nobody who was doing it. I was going I got that type of mindset. See, this is just my personality. If I believe in something and it makes sense to me, I'm gonna do it. I don't care what nobody say. Especially if they be like, "Oh, what if this happened? What if that happened?" You can't go into business thinking of what ifs. You got to think of like, "Oh, this is gonna work. I am gonna get it booked every night. I know my place gonna get booked." You gotta come in with a positive manifestation type of mindset. Don't come in negative, or it might be negative.
Around.
Right? Come in it positive, and it's gonna be positive. And if you see it's not working, you switch your lane and you make it work. You know what I'm saying? Because this is your business, and this is how you gonna make your money.
All right. So in the times of this, episode or whatever you want to call it, I usually have the person that came before leave a message or like more so a question to ask. So we got actually it's my boy Drew. He got a clothing line. I got a brand. He got a brand, and he's actually wanting to know you. He want to know, you've done a lot so far. So what's your goal for like the next year, regardless of what you're going to do? And do you already have a set plan, or is mostly you want to freestyle it, or just play by ear, quarter to quarter?
Kind of like a set plan. The biggest thing is to be consistent, because it's easy to fall off in business, but the ones who succeed in business is the ones who are consistent no matter how hard it gets. But don't get me wrong, this is the world. Imagine if I had an Airbnb when the pandemic came. Man, people lost all their businesses because people wasn't traveling like that because it was lockdown. If the pandemic come, what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm saying? I still got to think like that. So I still I just focus like that. I make sure all my docs in order. Some goals of mine would be have more properties in different states. More so. Do some corporate leasing.
Yeah,
do some corporate leasing. A lot of people who don't know what corporate leasing is, like you get with a corporation. Let's say, a lot of businesses will fly out their employees or doctors or whatever, they'll have them and they'll pay for them to stay. So instead of their doctor paying me, the corporation, whoever that agency is, they'll pay me. And it'll be way more than what if I was charging on my own.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, that about wraps this up, man. In the last seconds, man. Tell the people where they can find you at, man. Tell them what you got going.
You can find me on my Instagram at I am _him 1111. If you want to know anything about Airbnb, you can come to me. You can DM me. I am going to be starting up some classes later on. So be on the lookout for that. I'll post some flyers. Maybe you can repost it or whatever. And if anybody who want to learn about Airbnb or basic information, just get at me and I'll tell you anything you need to know.
All right, man. This is your boy, Duce Noir. It's my boy, Tony. Also, I am him. What it was?
I am _him 1111.
I am him. And this is me. And he is him. And we out. Peace.